part of the, I see that you've got an Etsy shop and some other swag going on as a sideline to like the Binding of Isaac and possibly Super Meat Boy. Is the like all the stuff on the Etsy shop, is that just a hobby of your family, of you, or is that actually like a viable source of income that
It's actually it's actually pretty substantial, income wise. It wasn't until after Meat Boy, of course, but that whole thing started because when I think it was when Meat Boy development started, possibly a year before Meat Boy development started, when I started making enough money that I knew I could support me and my wife. Um, she was working. It was a pretty hard job. She worked with autistic kids, like a one-on-one aide for many years, and it was a very hard job. Mostly actually because of the interaction with the kid's family. The parents are usually pretty hard to deal with, and not surprisingly harder than the kids. But she was having a hellish time with that, and I was able to support us. So I said, okay, quit your job and you can focus on your hobby, which would eventually become her career. So she focused all on just doing her own plush stuff. This was before she started doing my game plush versions and stuff. She just had her own shop, and she would do different like little showcases of her plush work and stuff, like different little shows. And she started doing really well locally, and then got on Etsy and branched out bigger and was making a substantial income to the point where she was almost making what she was making when she was working a real job. So we've had that Etsy for a long time. She had her own Etsy as well. And then once the CD that I mentioned, the compilation disc, that's how we sold the compilation disc, was through Etsy. And she basically mans the shop. So she gets, 100% of all the plush stuff that she sells on the shop is her own income for whatever she needs. And then her mom, who actually makes
the figurines, right?
The little figurines, yes. That's actually her income as well. She quit her job and is just doing the figurines full time now, or not full time, but part time. But it's paying the bills for her, and I give her all that money from the Etsy shop, and then whatever comes back. But I mean, either way, my wife and my money is pretty much the same thing. So it's all going to the same place. But that's how we avoid arguments. So the money that she makes from those plush things goes into her account, and that's her money, because it avoids all arguments. See, like when I got this box today, which she doesn't even know exists yet, I'm like, hey, what's this box? What? I didn't order this. Oh, it's shoes. Yeah, a box of shoes. So, but no, knowing that she paid that out of her own account, out of her own money, avoids all arguments. So it's less like a business thing as much as it's a marriage thing. But I recommend it to anybody who has a wife, and yeah. But no, yeah, all the swag stuff is really fun to do for both of us, and it has made a substantial amount of money as well. So it's pretty cool. It also goes with the DIY kind of feel of everything that I do and she does. It's cool to be able to, you make a game for $5 or whatever, and you put it on Steam, and then you have these fans that just like love and gush over it and want more and more and more, and you can't really give them more. But if you give them the option to buy a little plush for $20 or whatever, which is 4 times more than the game costs, and
well, and you sign them too.
So it's cool to have that there. It's like a little intimate gift from basically from the developer's house. It's all coming from here.
And you waited obviously until Super Meat Boy was big. You don't suggest doing that before a game is...
No, yeah. We get a lot. See, it's all supply and demand here, kids. Something I've learned over the years. I get a lot of emails. It's like, how many shirts did you sell or whatever else? I'm like, it doesn't matter how many shirts I sold. If you've got a game that nobody fucking knows about and you're not even releasing it yet, and you want to like make promo shirts, order 10 shirts. That's it. When you sell those 10 shirts, you order 10 more shirts. And that's just the way it goes. It's the way it's always been. Like when I started making, like when I made my compilation disc, it took 1 full year for me to sell 1,000 copies of it. Not to mention the fact that I gave away probably a couple hundred copies of these things. Like And that was when I ordered that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm never gonna sell 1,000. I'm never gonna sell 1,000. And it took me a year, and I finally sold it. But don't get crazy with the swag, especially if you don't have anything people really like yet and doesn't exist yet. Just make really small stuff, and then just supply and demand. If the demand gets higher, then you can order more and invest more money. If not, don't. But honestly, there's been many times where I'm not really good with the business side of things when it comes to this stuff. Like, I'm notorious for investing money in these. Maybe I think I have one. This thing here. I made these Super Meat Boy stress balls.
Nice.
So I didn't pay attention to how much I was selling them for versus how much I bought them for, and I ended up making nothing. And we sold like 500 something of these. And I didn't really make any money off of them, and it still took all the time and effort to go and ship these damn balls, and I wasn't really thinking about it, but it's business, right?